Hey, what's up, guys? To Intuitive 717, I am back with another reading. Happy Sunday night. I appreciate you guys being here with me. I'm going to dive right into a collective reading for the Divine Masculine Collective. I've been picking up on that Lauryn Hill song a lot. So I kept trying to figure it out. I'm like, is this for the Divine Feminines? Is it for the Masculines, the collective? And so I got some clarity today around the message, and I feel like what's coming up for the Divine Masculines is like healing and also resilience to the dark feminine energy. And so I kept hearing showing off your ass because you thinking it's a trend girlfriend. Okay, I kept hearing that, like showing off your ass because you thinking it's a trend girlfriend. So I feel like what's happening is like anybody, just anybody at all using, let's see how far I am into the video. Anybody using sensual energy, like that kind of sensual energy, to distract, or, you know, when there's this inner knowing of knowing in this perverse way that if you use sensuality, there is profit to be made from it in some way. But deep down inside, you know exactly what it is you may be doing. So I feel like what's happening collectively is like, I see this big foot, and I know that's going to sound so weird, but I do see this big foot. I keep seeing it in my visions, and I feel like it is the presence of the divine feminine. Okay, so what I am sensing for the divine masculines is a more focused approach and standing very strong in real divine masculine energy. Okay, because I'm getting an imbalance in what I feel has been one of the big distractions, especially with certain things like AI, social media, technology advancing at such a rapid pace. I feel like it's been a lot easier to manipulate and distract with that type of energy. But with this big foot, many of you might be giggling because I feel like, as if you're out there and you're a divine feminine female woman, you might have big feet and you're just like, girl, you pull it on my triggers right now. But hey, it is all for maybe a divine purpose. Maybe you have that big feet because your presence is meant to be known. But I do feel it like really stepping in. And it's almost like protecting the divine masculine's journey or their path, okay? Because what I'm seeing is, like, for the collective, I do see a lot of divine masculines feeling really afraid to do what's super natural to them, which is to venture off and build and create and have a solid foundation for themselves and feel really confident or good about doing that. And along with your confidence, you're able to, be compassionate. You are able to have a greater vision of what community is supposed to look like, but more importantly, you're able to execute that without fear. And so I feel like a big majority of the collective of divine masculine energy, just men in general, have really been held back and very stagnant and almost like hypnotized. So I do feel, again, that anyone out there who is using sensuality, like all of these, Instagram girls, like using divine feminine energy in the form of sensuality, sexuality, trying to show off either their bodies or just sexualizing things in a way that is meant to just, I want to say, like, infiltrate and distract and keep their energy focused on lower vibrational energy. And when it is stuck there, that's why many of our divine masculine collective, just men in general, they've been feeling so drained because of the over centralization of everything. It causes them to deplete their sensual energy. Okay, so a lot of that vibration is going out into the atmosphere. And I feel like darker entities are feeding on it, because when they come to that point of the big O, it's usually not off of just high vibrational things. It's really disturbing things, if you really look at it. And I think that most of the divine masculine collective, even some of the divine feminine collective, who have felt these energies seep in, and it's not unnatural, I feel, for me to say that, you have that tendency to move towards darker and darker. Okay, so I feel like what will help the collective to pay more attention to that is picture your life force being fed on by that type of energy. Okay, so as long as you can plug those two in, I think that you guys will be okay. But overall, let's get a card for the divine masculines and see what they need to look out for with the dark feminine energy, because I do feel like many of you are getting your strength back. Okay, there's the victory too, I feel, of the divine feminine energy. And this is divine feminine energy, not dark feminine energy. Okay, and I feel like how this is going to look is like victory for many. I feel like if you are walking the divine feminine path, that's why many of you have been guided to be celibate, to preserve your energy. Many of you have been really guided to, I feel like, just be more conservative about yourself in general, like just paying attention to how powerful the energy of the feminine is and using it wisely or alchemizing it in ways that can now help our masculines grow instead of distracting them and keeping them stuck in lower vibrational energy. Okay, so ideally that's what I feel like the big shift is all about, is many of the divine feminines, I feel, are starting to lead in a sense where many of us are recognizing just how much the divine masculine energy is counting on us to have the shift, because the shift is about, I feel like, pulling ourselves away from the energy that it feels good to feed upon it. Okay, anything lower. Okay, I feel too like many of the divine feminines as well, you're really shaking things up in terms of what the divine masculines are really attracted to now, like strength, power, intellect, determination, tenacity, someone with a voice, kindness, compassion, the ability to make change happen. Those are qualities that I feel our divine masculines in the past or just currently have had trouble recognizing as attractive, because again, that's why there's such an influx of like, no, this is what's attractive. The body is. The aesthetics. That's why it's scary, right? Like, it's like whatever you see on social media, it's like, I can relate to, because I live in North America, and it's like a thing to dress a specific way, like the long dark hair, the really strange looking eyebrows, the penciled on lips, and it's like everybody just kind of weirdly, strangely looks the same. It's like, that's the look. It's like, I feel for the divine feminines, many of you are like, you see the grid very clearly, you see the blueprint very clearly, and it's like you would never catch yourself like dead, even caught up in some kind of trend like that, or moving along with I'm seeing it like a wave. Okay, it's like, it's either you're in the wave or you're just on the shore or the sand observing at this time. Okay, before that big foot steps in, many of you are just observing at this time. So that's what I feel like a lot of you are either shifting into. Okay, you're starting to see how potent your energy is, and I feel like many of you are like, oh shit, okay, it's really time to start backtracking and backing up and start preserving a lot of that energy, because I feel like the shift will start with the divine feminine collective, and then slowly, just things kind of get shifted and put into place. But what I feel has really had a lot of the divine masculine collective feeling just unmotivated, just really afraid, very distracted, is the depletion of sensual energy. Okay, it really destabilizes you in a sense where you feel tired, you feel foggy. There is no path other than just consumption. Okay, consumption and just mimicking at a surface level what it is you think you want, but never really diving deep to actually make it happen with your bare hands. So yeah, let's go ahead and get some more messages on it and see what the divine masculine collective is learning right now. What are they paying attention to? What is the masculine observing around them at this time? Okay, so there it is, nurture, compassion. Okay, a lot of them are wanting just true love at this time, not anything surface level. I feel like they have been dealing with a lot of darker divine feminine energies that really just have no time for nurture or compassion. It's really difficult for these darker divine feminine energies to love on themselves. A lot of distraction through social media and wanting to be something that they're not. Really difficult to love who it is they are on the inside and to find and embrace that in a sense. Really looking at sensuality as a tool, versus something that is sacred and a part of themselves. So I feel like that's shifting as well, where a lot of divine masculines are really craving to be genuinely loved, versus distracted. Okay, we have detachment and cold. This could be a state of mind that many of them are in right now, not knowing what direction to go in. And there's that renewal of spark. There's Bigfoot. There's Bigfoot with the higher self activation here. So that's what the divine feminines are really up to right now. And that's this big shift I too feel happening with the divine masculine collective, is really shifting and changing what's up right now, what's sexy, what's attractive, what is valuable. Because I have been picking up a lot on being intentional. We have guarded and we have vulnerable. Okay, so this could be something too that a lot of the divine masculines are experiencing as they shift out of the old version of themselves. Okay, so higher self activation can be really painful. And what I mean by painful is like in the mind, it can be really painful. Okay, because it's almost like you really do feel anxious about what's next. Okay, and that's where this detachment and cold energy is coming from. But seeds are currently being planted. I feel like a lot of you are going to start seeing many of these spiritual changes coming into place for you next spring. Quieting down, or the energy of winter even. It's time to rest, and it's time for new seeds to be planted. Okay, many of you waking up and starting to just step away from a lot of the illusions that you've been under, paying attention to exactly what's depleting your energy. Everybody is trying to live more mindful and more present. Okay, and anything that could be feeding on you at this time, I feel like we're all starting to feel that as well. Okay, only because we're experiencing activation symptoms when it comes to ascension. So it's like a lot of us are getting checked out and nothing seems to be wrong. So many of us are starting to dig more deeply. That's why many of us are starting to feel like we're under spiritual attack, or like just our energetic body. It's like every time we start getting clarity or moving forward spiritually, or we start making things happen for ourselves by connecting more with source, that's when you start feeling attacked. Okay, the closer you get to source and you start remembering, that's what this activation is all about. That's why many of you get so badly tested on this twin flame journey. It pushes you back to source because of the suffering that you feel, right? The intensity and everything gets felt at a heightened level when you meet your twin flame. And that heightened, because we're built, to handle things at a certain point. I feel like, with twin flames, you get hit with tower moment after tower moment after tower moment after tower moment. And so because of that, you have no choice but to reach for something greater or bigger than you in order to get you through it. So yeah, that's what I feel like is pretty much happening. It's like another layer that's being shed in the collective. I feel like a lot of the karmic energies are starting to see that. I have been channeling the word exhausted a lot, so I feel like the karmic energies are realizing that the battle, that they've been, it's been a long battle, and I feel like there were moments where there was traction, but now they're becoming exhausted, because I feel like stamina is what the collective is working with, and that stamina is coming from your connection to source. Okay, so don't curse the universe. And it may be difficult sometimes, because it's like, I know what it's like to feel like all of this was for nothing, and it's like, why did all of this happen to you? Like, how could you love at such a great capacity only to just be shattered? And it's like, it was for a greater purpose. Like, when you experience all of this and you shatter to pieces and you see how you can build yourself back up overnight just by simply reaching out and asking for assistance, humbling yourself, becoming vulnerable, understanding that you're not here alone, that is when a lot of the change starts to happen. Okay. And that's why many of you, you go through this because you're resilient. You refuse to give up. You continuously stand up again, which everybody around you on this whole twin flame journey, even with your counterpart, there has to be God, right? Like there has to be something beautiful and big out there if this person keeps getting back up, because how are they making that happen? All right. So that's my cue to go. I love you guys. Take it easy, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay. Bye guys.